Revised Common Lectionary is a 3-year cycle of biblical readings that churches use in worship. Many denominations use it so that Christians all over the world are reading the same selection of text every week. This week we'll be talking about Mark chapter 4, verses 35 to 41. In this story, Jesus' disciples are out on the sea and Jesus is with them, but he's asleep. And a great storm comes up on the sea. The disciples get upset about it. They wake Jesus up. "Teacher, don't you care that we're perishing?" Jesus commands the waves to be still and calms the storm. He's demonstrating to the disciples they're in the very presence of God. God who not only has control over the chaos of nature, but the chaos of human affairs as well. I suspect that the first audience who heard the Gospel of Mark felt very much like their world was out of control. The Gospel mentions often that they would experience persecution for their faith. There are lots of signs that they were living in a very stressful period of history. And so we imagine that this story in part communicated to them that they could have confidence in Jesus, but beyond that gave them confidence in their difficult circumstances. Modern readers might be able to identify with that. We're in one of those periods when lots of people are feeling extremely uncertain, when the political rhetoric from both parties is about uncertainty and about the threat that's represented by the other side. Earlier this month, we received some negative job reports, discouraging. Wall Street dropped. We also received reports that new college graduates are highly unemployed at almost a rate of 20%. When people experience times of crisis, they often also experience it as a crisis of faith. They wonder or complain, don't I have enough faith? Am I adequate in that way? This story of the stilling of the storm is a story about God working in Jesus. It's not about whether the disciples have enough faith or not. It's about whether Jesus is with them. He's with them, and so they're okay.